Memories are all inside you, and you never make them back. I can feel that cheering through the world that did not make sense. You can feel what I mean now that you're here. Just know there's nothing to fear along the way. There's nothing I could say, nothing I could say, but I say. Can't feel relief with being blind or dumb. Find something to believe in and then never give it up. I can feel that cheering with the world that did not make sense. You can feel what I mean now that you're here. There's nothing to fear along the way. There's nothing I could say, nothing I could say. Nothing I could say, but I say, you can wipe the years you're hiding. I say, you just gotta make it last forever, forever. You can wipe the years you're hiding. I say,
screw typing. Give me a second. Let's turn down the volume on that a little bit. Turn up the volume on my system. And flip it over to show the game. Because why not? I have Java. Because fucking coffee. Alright, so I was building a rover. This rover's crap. And the reason why I say this rover's crap is because this rover's fucking crap. I'm not a big fan of it. I'm not a fan of how it's starting to look. I'm just not a fan at all. And yesterday, Drake made a suggestion that why don't I just add wheels to the Neon Strike? I had no idea what the hell exactly he was talking about at the time, so I said, hey, you know what? Why don't you join in on my game? So we made a full round version of this. I saved it as an alternate, and it ended up being a lot better. I will show you what he got here. We dubbed it the TRC, the Piglet. And we put turrets on it. And then we tested it on Mars. And then we played around with the fucker because this thing is actually fun. So this is actually built by me and Drake. Drake did the hard work. I did some of the cleaning up, making it look pretty. So, as far as rovers go, I think we've got one built. I wasn't going to count this as part of the Build a Fleet series, but the more and more I looked at it and used it and checked it out, is the happier I was with this. So, as normally as I would be building this in the Build a Fleet, I'm going to say that this is the freaking rover for the Build a Fleet series. I'm sorry it was built off camera, but you guys get the benefit nonetheless, and you're able to download the blueprint once I get it uploaded. I'm still debating on whether or not I get to keep this carrier. I'm not sure I like it at all, to be honest. One of the benefits of building in creative, if I don't like something, I get to scrap it all together and start over. For those guys who know, building in survival, you're adding block by block, removing block by block, adding block by block, removing block by block. It's tedious. But it is what it is. Which is why we're doing the Build a Fleet in creative. It is what it is. So, I'm sorry you guys didn't get to see the build process of this, but I can guarantee you it was pretty simple. Remove engines, add wheels, drive around. Couple design changes here and there, but I mean, really, it is the Neon Strike with fucking wheels. I mean, that's all it is. Got a big wheel up front. It drives well, to demonstrate. Well, okay, it drives wheel for Space Engineers wheels. It has a little tendency to roll up front because of the one wheel, but that's what gyros are for. And I have the turn radius initially turned down intentionally. Yep. See, there it goes. But again, that's just a sharp-ass turn with essentially a trike. You do a sharp-ass turn on a trike, you're going to flip. That is how it goes. I'm not necessarily a big fan of the suspension. There's got to be a way to clean it up, but I'm not practiced enough at rovers to begin with. So, here it is, your guys' rover. I like it. Keep it below a certain speed, it flies a little bit better. Or drives or whatever. So, there it is. This thing, whatever the mess this thing was supposed to be. I mean, I could sit here and try to finish it, but yeah. It's so air to ground, so the dampener is keeping it from flipping. I don't understand what you mean. Are you talking like thrusters pointing upwards? Nah. How about you just drive better? How about I just drive better? So that mess goes away. Because it is a mess. I don't know. I had fun yesterday. Building with Drake was definitely was something else. That guy's got some ideas. It's actually the first rover in Space Engineers I have driven that I've been happy with. And that's saying something. So, herein lies the question. I know the title of this says The End. The question is it really the end? You know. What is it? What do you think it's missing, Zach? Tell me. Enlighten me. And I will either agree with you or prove you wrong. Sideways and easy flight if in space. I'm going to tell you the same thing I tell my little brother. Full thoughts and sentences, bud. I can't track otherwise. Half sentences and half thoughts, I'm going to completely ignore from here on. Sorry, but I've got no patience for that crap. My little brother's killed it. So, what are we building next? Are we building anything next? Am I going to end this save, upload all the freaking vehicles today? Am I going to punch a midget in the groin? Am I going to build another ship? Or am I going to start my survival series? I think somebody suggested a soft survival. Where, you know, I already have a small base, outpost, a few vehicles, depending, nothing OP, and I don't know what OP would be other than, you know, some of the shit I've seen on the workshop that's ridiculous as fuck. I was also thinking that if I do a survival series, I'm only allowed to use ships from this series. So the only ships I'm allowed to use are blueprints of the TRC Build-A-Fleet series. If I need something, I have to use one of those ships. If I don't have anything that fits that role, I don't get to use it. So, okay, so you want a large ship? See, Zach, there's no need to use large ship blocks in a lot of scenarios. There are certain scenarios where it's more beneficial, like, you know, this drop ship, larger cargo containers. It works. But at the same time, I can build a ship that does exactly this. A ship that hauls cargo from the atmosphere to space without issue. I've done it. I've done it before. Here. Meet Jerry. Now, Jerry is an atmospheric only variant, but the concept is the same. I mean, seriously, the concept is almost identical. Jerry is an atmospheric ship. All I did to make him space-worthy was added some ion thrusters, specifically. There it is. Take a look. It's the same craft. Jerry with ions. Strapped. I mean, it is really just that simple. This will make space with full cargo. There is absolutely no reason whatsoever that a simple Scout Rover needs to be large ship blocks. Zach, I want you to understand something. I do not build super ships. Why don't I build super ships? Because this is build a fleet. There is absolutely no reason to build a super ship when I'm trying to build a fleet. A super ship negates the need for a fleet. At all. I mean, there's no need for it. 2, building something like that really tanks the sim speed of the game, makes it unenjoyable for me. Okay, now I am doing this for your enjoyment, but I'm going to be doing this regardless. I was going to be building all of these ships regardless. I am streaming this for the fuck of it, just because I want to, just because I can. I'm not building a super ship at all. It's not happening. Quit asking. Okay? Thank you. And if that bothers you, or if I've pissed in your Cheerios, get over it. I don't care. I really don't. So, what else am I building besides a fracking super ship? I'm not building a super ship. Give me something else, or I'm going to end this save, and I'm going to start my survival. I've built bigger ships, don't get me wrong. I've actually shown Drake one of them. I can show you guys the ship I'm talking about here. These are all the ships I built during the Build-A-Fleet. I don't disagree, Drake. It would have been great. It would be a blast. But you guys saw how long that took to load this one ship. Now, I did not build this entirely on my own. I had a lot of help from Beardy D. He did most of the fun parts that work, like the airlocks and shit like that. I want you guys to take a look at this ship in comparison to, say, the carrier I built. It's not much bigger. It's actually within the block limit of the game. But because this has got so much behind it to make it a functional... This is not Voltron, Zach. This isn't the fucking Power Rangers. No. Why would I combine ships together? This isn't no. This isn't that kind of thing. But I want you guys to see how long it takes to post this. And like I said, this is with Beardy D's help. This is 3 weeks worth of work. I mean, solid weeks. Like this live stream for 3 weeks on one ship. This is the Kusanagi. We were actually going to use this for our group survival, but we can't paste it in the server because of all the shit that's going on with it. 1, it's detailed. I like it. 2, it is atmospheric capable. Although for a very short time it burns through hydrogen like a motherfucker. That's because of its mass. It is massive. You recognize the hog? Beardy D's baby. Hey, look at that. Phoenix's ship from the group survival series. Guess who designed that? This guy. To travel together? That's what coordinates are for, buddy. Hey, everybody, pop in these coordinates. Jump at your own discretion, because not everybody has the same jump thing. Also, jump drives increase mass and all that fun stuff. So yeah. Oh, look at that! You can make it to space. Look at that script. I believe I used that for the dropship. That's also not accurate as far as the cargo mass goes, but whatever. Tells you how much hydrogen you need. Automatic LCDs, because that's nice. Down to a fracking table. We all put a lot of work in this. This ship isn't much bigger than that carrier. But because of the detail put into it, the work put into it, the effort put into it, it is more lag than it's worth. This is just one ship that's slightly larger than the carrier. If I do a super ship or combine multiple ships, so they all jump together, minus the jump mass and all that mess. Future Gamer, welcome back. The bigger it is, the bigger the issue with the sim speed. Space Engineers is not ready for ships really even of this size and quality. And believe me, this is quality. I'm happy with it. I am very happy with it. Beardy put a lot of effort into his portion. I put a lot of effort into my portion. There's been a lot of iterative designs. The original looks something like this. So you guys know I build iteratively. If I don't like something, I will change it. So this is the original. I wasn't happy with the engine pods. I wasn't happy with the bottom. Beardy wasn't happy with the back sides. The only thing that stayed the same throughout the process was the bay. Even the cockpit got a redesign. The whole interior got a redesign. I think the stairwell's the only thing that's the same between these two. We made a glass bridge because in this particular instance, I didn't see why not. It was part of the overall design I had in my head. It still screams shoot me, and I'm not a big fan of that. But at the same time, I mean, come on, guys. From the captain's perspective, that's gorgeous. So, yeah. Hands free. So, my survival series. I'm thinking I'm going to start with this one, and this one, the V3. That's it. None of these. So if I want to get to a planet, which I'm going to start like way out here type mess. I think it's going to look something like this. So if I got to get to any of these planets, it's going to be with another ship that can jump. So that's what I think my survival series is going to start at. Minimal resources, as in like 200 crates of ammo and some ice, and that's all you get. Anything past that, and you have to find it. Mine it. Build it. Again, any ship that I start with or use will have to come from this Build a Fleet series. So if I want a rover, it'll have to be the Piglet. If I get the a drop ship, it has to be a ship that I know is capable of going from Earth or any planet out of this fleet. So in other words, that limits it to 2. Either this one or this one. Because those are the only 2 I think that are capable of flipping between space and atmosphere. So, there's that. I want a mobile base. This is it. Your guys' call. You alright with those constraints? I mean, before I started, I want to know that, you know, everybody's going to be happy to watch that. Because, I mean, I'm at the point now, guys, I have nothing else I can build. Or at least, you know, one that isn't stepping on the toes of another role. That's the other thing. I can't step on the toes of another role. If I've already got a ship that does it, why? Why? You know, that's why I'm not building a second carrier for civilian craft, because the civilian craft will work in that carrier. Just have 2 of the same carrier. No point in changing it. So, your call. Anybody. What am I building? Anybody, everybody. Now, here goes the other thing. I'm going to have a Drake. I believe there's going to be a Drake in my survival series with me. Somebody I can talk to, so that way you guys aren't, you know, the only ones I talk to. Probably help me build. What do you guys think? Would you like to hear and see a Drake on the live? Anybody? I don't think Future Gamer was here for my just... I want to see a super ship! The bigger the ship, the more that goes behind it. The more that goes behind it, the more lag. The more lag, the less enjoyable it is for me. No. Big, fat, no. Not building... I mean, if I were to have a flagship, fuck, it would be the Kusanagi. I don't see a need for a flagship. Usually your carrier is your flagship. So our carrier of this fleet would be the command ship. If you have more than one carrier, one's designated beforehand. So, no. Give me something else or I'm moving on. Quit asking for a super ship. Quit asking for a mothership. We don't need a flagship. We have one. Trent's not doing what I asked him to do. He's not building the ship I want him to build. I don't care. I'm an asshole. I've never claimed to be a nice guy. Sorry. So, Come on. What? Tiny drones for multiple purposes. You know what? I'm not disagreeing with you. We do need some drones. We do not have any drones. All we have are manned vehicles. We need an unmanned vehicle, at least. So, good call. Moonbase. Shut up, Drake. So, we will finish this series off with a space. This is not Voltron. This is not Power Rangers. We're not combining ships to make a better ship. It doesn't work that way. Let's say you have 3 identical ships. Let's say you have 3 identical ships. Let's say I take the concept of 3 neon strikes. Look at this. It's got 3 connectors on it. I can do and a cruise missile carrier. Why? This is not a military faction. This is a civilian faction that is trying to protect itself. We'll say a PMC section of a civilian faction. The fact that it's got 4 military vessels is stupid. You want to see a cruise missile carrier? I got you beat with a freaking crossbow. This thing fires at 3 rounds, or a round every 3 seconds. 2 rounds every 3 seconds. You know what, Zach? I can get into the argument about it. I used to watch the original Power Rangers before I went to school. Yeah, back when they aired at 6 o'clock in the morning on freaking TV. The crossbow, Zach, fires 2 torpedoes. All I have to do is add a programmable block and a timer to them. And they're cruise missiles. Every 3 seconds. 2 every 3 seconds. I don't need a cruise missile carrier. This thing does the job beautifully. Already. Bye, future gamer. I'd say I'm sorry, but that implies I care. So as far as firepower goes, no. I've got firepower. I don't need a cruise missile carrier. Orbital bombardment, guess what? Crossbow can do it too. We're good. That's covered. Railguns, got that covered too. Both of these ships have ore-based railguns, because ore's a bitch. Ore doesn't get shot out of the sky. Ore is nasty as fuck. A carrier to carry other ships, we've got that covered too. This carries 6 neon strikes. 1 neon strike's fucking terrifying enough. You get 6 of them swarming an enemy, you don't need them. You don't need it. Alright, got you covered, future gamer. I knew you were kidding. I know you love me. So that carrier carrying 6 Neon Strike V3s, you don't need anything else. Logistical ships, covered. 3 civilian ships, small ships, for welding, grinding, and mining, because that is the way of the world. Excuse me. Ugh, coffee belch. So, no. I think, as far as this fleet's concerned, a gravity prison. It's called being marooned on a planet, dude. Yeah, Drake, therein lies that. There's no such thing as a gravity prison because, let's say this. Let's see, gravity well? Boom, gravity well, right? I am flying in a gravity well. Why am I flying in a gravity well? Because hydrogen. You can't have a gravity prison. It doesn't work. Not in Space Engineers. Thrusters. Jetpack. No gravity prison. The gravity wells do not extend far enough to negate the jetpack's fuel source. So you can stick somebody in there, they can't get out. Or they can get out. Period. Unless I'm misunderstanding gravity prison. I mean, that's a gravity prison. Right there. That. Anywhere on that rock that's big, 50,000 kilometer diameter radius or whatever the fuck the Keen said it was, that's a gravity prison. That's covered. So, yeah. Still waiting. Nothing? Alright. So, I guess at this point, I need to go through my blueprints, clean up the mess that is most... Oh, no. I need to build drones. My bad. My bad. Sorry. What kind of drones are we looking at? Defensive drones, recon drones... Or I'm just going to start building and we'll figure out its role as we go. Or maybe we'll do both. I do not use rotors. I really don't like using rotors or pistons, for that matter. I used the pistons on the base, but that's because it's a static object and I needed a way to extend an umbilical to the ship that landed. 2, I do have... What? Zach, you're making no sense. I told you. So we need a drone. Small drone. How small of a drone do you guys want? I mean, we can build it really small that can maybe scout ships out. We can make it larger. Come on. What are we doing? Oops. Apparently we're bumping into that. Alright, droning on. I think I'm just going to build one real quick. And before you guys go, oh my god, he turned off symmetry? I know. I know what I'm doing. This song, Running by One Lap. Aha, snagged it. There you go. Well, I mean, as far as that goes,